Hey guys, you're watching Let's Talk About Prepping. So first things first, yes, the video and sound quality just is not going to be what it could be, at least not for a while. And I'm just going to have to put these videos out when I get the opportunity. So, late night car video. What are we talking about? Austerity, with an AU. We're talking about lean times. This is something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. In the prepping community, we like to talk about a sudden switch to dramatically different circumstances. The economic collapse, the SHTF, World War III, the Second Civil War, what have you. All of these situations involve a sudden and dramatic change in the social status quo, the economic status quo. It involves an ability to quit your job, perhaps be forgiven of debts, and be able to dramatically change the way that you do things, change your inputs, your outputs, and redefine what you need on a day-to-day basis to get by. In a lot of ways, a lot of the situations that we try to prepare for in the prepping community are fantasy. A lot of them are real situations that may really happen, and if they do, we will definitely want to be somewhat prepared for them. But in a lot of ways, a lot of people are sort of banking on the idea that they won't need their job anymore, they won't have to worry about paying their mortgage, their kids won't be going to expensive schools or doing expensive after-school projects or things like that. We're all banking on the idea that all of a sudden things are going to dramatically change, and the way that we need to do things will dramatically change in such a way that we can do the things that we've been preparing to do to react to that situation. And what I want to talk about, and what a few other people around me have been talking about, for instance, Anthony at Palmetto Prepared, is the idea that maybe you won't be able to just quit your job, pack everything up, and go live in a cabin in the woods, or jump in your bug-out vehicle and simply drive out into state land, forested land somewhere, and just live it out for a while. What if it's not that dramatic? What if it's not that easy, if you will? What if life continues to go on just like it is, except gas prices quadruple? What if you're dealing with $16 a gallon gas prices? And that's not just you at the pump, that's everything that you purchase. The gas dividend that goes into the cost of that item quadruples. Now, for a lot of things, that's a lot. And let's mark this at crude oil. So literally any petroleum product, the dividend that goes into that from petroleum, the amount of money that is counted into the cost of that product because of petroleum, quadruples. Like I said, for things like rubber and different things like that, this could almost literally quadruple the price, not just gasoline at the pump. This would dramatically increase the cost of food and just everything across the board. So let's say that gasoline quadruples and a lot of other products increase by 25 to 75 and more %. Would you be able to shoulder this burden? What would it take for you to be able to shoulder this burden? Would it completely cripple your lifestyle? Would it just mean getting rid of Netflix and dropping a couple cell phone lines? Not having as many vehicles running in your household and having to drop some of them off of insurance? What is your margin right now? Now, I don't mean we could tighten our belts. I mean, how much are you saving on each paycheck or each month or whatever have you? How much are you getting ahead to where you're not actually decreasing your quality of lifestyle to compensate for market factors that you have absolutely no control over? And this isn't a matter of judgment, because I can tell you I'm not saving anything. All of my money needs to go to stuff right now. I'm behind. But my question to you as preppers is, how far is that margin for you before your lifestyle starts changing? And how much of your lifestyle changing are you prepared to shoulder as a burden? Now, I can tell you that I'm prepared to decrease my quality of lifestyle quite a bit. I'm living pretty fat compared to how I was just a couple years ago. I can get rid of my Netflix, I can get rid of my YouTube Premium, I can get rid of a few things like that, and I'm prepared to do that. Like I said, I'm living fat, and I know that. I know what it's like to live really lean, and I wonder how many people in the prepping community, people who want to talk about going out and scraping it in the woods, people who want to talk about living in some of the harshest circumstances that some of the softest humans who've ever lived could possibly imagine living in, if they're ready to give up their Netflix, ready to give up everybody in their household having a car, ready to give up everybody in their household having cell phones. Are you guys ready to go back to living in the 70s just because it costs too much to live in the 20-teens? I think that these situations are a lot more likely than a lot of the situations that a lot of preppers are preparing for. And I don't necessarily think that things just being ridiculously expensive, just life being really expensive again, I don't think that that necessarily leads directly to the economic collapse, although some days it seems like that, the way that we have things all precariously set up. But I do believe that as preppers, we need to be preparing just as much for the extremely lean times, preparing ourselves for having to live through extremely lean times, just as much as we're preparing ourselves for hitting the ground running hard during an extreme collapse type situation. Some food for thought, which I'd love to hear some of your thoughts back on. Hope you're all doing well out there. Stay safe.